Lee Kiju is looking completely gassed. It's a nail-biting match against Dreadlocks over here, and our guy is fading fast. Suddenly, he lunges forward and throws a lightning-fast double jab, then a hard shot to the body. The Dreadlock fighter throws a massive blow, but Kiju is able to duck and counter, but he misses. Now it's Dreadlock's turn. Kiju is completely rocked by that shot. Before he can even think, a 1-2 combo smashes into his face. And finally, soul-crushing punch lands right on Kiju's jaw. He gets sent flying, literally spinning through the air. He lands with a heavy thud. The crowd roars. Lee Kiju is down. His coach, the bald guy, is absolutely furious. Kiju just lies there, bruised and battered, gasping for air. He glances over to the stands, and a woman looks on, worried sick. As the ref rushes over, Kiju's mind starts to wander. He thinks to himself, why am I lying here? He closes his eyes, trying to remember how this all started. Ah yes, this was the exact moment. A young woman's voice calls out his name. She's returning his phone to him. This is yours, right? A totally flustered Kiju stammers. Thanks, as he takes it. She said she just found it while she was cleaning. He remembers this bus stop. So many wonderful memories. Because back then, he was nothing more than a toy for the school bullies. He was their personal errand boy. The bullies just mock him, calling him a useful little gopher. If they hit him, he just had to stand there and take it. He'd be on the ground, humiliated and drooling, completely unable to fight back. Then one day, crumpled on the ground in pain, Kiju had a shocking realization. He was a loser because he did not have a girlfriend. And conversely, no one who had a girlfriend ever gets called a loser. My man's logic is flawless. So that day, he made up his mind. At his new school, the very first thing he's gonna do is get a girlfriend. Okay, back to the present. He's wondering if this is his big chance to finally stop being a loser. The pretty girl with short brown hair waves goodbye, saying she's heading out. Kiju panics and shouts for her to wait. She turns around looking a little surprised. He immediately gets super flustered, having no idea what to say next. Smooth. She asks if he's got something to say, and he just completely freezes up. She's getting impatient, telling him she's leaving if he has nothing to say. He takes a deep breath and steels himself for what's next. Finally, he musters up all his courage and yells, "Go out with me." But at that exact moment, a huge bus drives by, completely drowning him out. He can't believe he actually did it. He managed to confess. But the girl just says, "Sorry, it was too noisy, I couldn't hear." His heart just sinks. Of all the times for a bus to drive by, he starts panicking, grabbing his hair and wondering what to do now. As she prepares to leave again, he desperately shouts for her to wait. He chases her across the street, determined not to let this opportunity escape. Suddenly, the girl stops. She looks annoyed. "Hey, what's your problem? Why do you keep following me?" He stammers for a second, then tries to play it cool with a smile. "Will you go out with me?" She just stares at him, completely silent for a moment. He's so embarrassed he can feel his face turning beet red. But then the girl crosses her arms and squares up to him. She whines back and throws a punch right at his face. Boom! The punch connects. "I guess that's a no, Kiju, my dude." Before he can recover, she drives her other fist into his stomach. But it's a fake. He's completely stunned, unable to even process what just happened. Then she just casually flicks him on the forehead. "Sorry," she says coldly, "but I really hate weaklings like you." As she walks away, he tries to call out to her again, completely bewildered. Then he notices where she's going, a boxing gym. She calls out, "Dad," and an older, heavy-set man comes out to greet her. Plot twist. She tells him she's heading up, and he tells her to make sure she warms up properly. The man lights a cigarette, and his eyes land on the bruised and confused Kiju across the street. He looks thoughtful, like he sees some kind of potential in our boy. He remembers how he blocked the solid punch his daughter landed. He shuffles down the stairs and makes his way towards Kiju. Kiju starts to panic, stammering that he didn't mean to do anything with his daughter. The man suddenly grabs his shoulder, and Kiju just gasps. Then he asks a question Kiju never saw coming. "Would you like to try becoming a boxer?" Kiju is completely floored by the offer. He just stares back in disbelief. And just like that, an unexpected journey begins. What a wild origin story. A few days later, the girl, still in school uniform, enters the gym, greeting her dad. He asks why she's not studying, and she says she felt stiff and needed to work out. Kiju is also at the gym. He took the man up on his offer, though at the moment he seems a little distracted. Yeah, he claims he loved boxing, but we all know what's up. He swears he's taking it seriously, but the drool and the blush tell a very different story. Watching her train, he declares boxing the greatest sport of his life. Sure, buddy, the greatest sport. But hey, despite his questionable reasons, Kiju is actually putting in the work, throwing sharp jabs. The girl asks her dad what he thinks of Kiju's progress so far. With a thoughtful look, the coach says, "If things stay the same, it would be perfect." We see an important day is marked on the calendar. Wonder what that's about. One day in school, the classroom door slams open, and a group of delinquents struts in, making the whole room go silent. The leader smirks, announcing their slogan, "Pay your dues, end school violence." His buddy thinks it's a killer line. While another student just decides to pay up, the girl from the gym mutters insults under her breath. The bully's head snaps toward her. Huh? Hey Hyo-saman, what did you just say? Saman doesn't even flinch, coolly asking if he's feeling a little guilty about something. Enraged, he raises his hand to hit her, but she just stares him down. What? You gonna hit me? He stops, a nasty smirk spreading across his face. How could I hit a girl? He leans in, taunting her about living with her disabled father and telling her to stop throwing tantrums. Saman's hand clenches into a tight, white-knuckled fist on her desk. Noticing her diet milk, he sneers. Or maybe it's just because you're on a diet, feeling a little edgy? He picks up the carton. Then as a friend, I should help you out. With a cruel grin, he pours the entire carton of milk right over her head. She gasps in shock as his friends all start laughing. The rest of the class can only watch in horrified silence, too scared to do anything. Salman is drenched and humiliated. She slams her hands on her desk, about to explode in anger. Suddenly, a firm voice cuts through the tension. Stop it. Everyone turns to see Kiju standing tall, confronting the entire group of bullies. Salman looks up in total disbelief. The bully turns to face his new target. Did you just mouth off to me? Kiju's expression is dead serious. He didn't want to fight, but he can't just stand by and watch this. He remembers how she called him a weakling, and he knows exactly what he has to do. He gives a confident wink to a very confused Salman. Don't worry too much, I'll go easy. Salman is completely baffled by his sudden personality change. And frankly, so am I. The bully completely loses it and throws a wild punch, yelling, You should answer, you jerk. Kiju thinks the move is way too big. He throws his own punch. It's only a feint, but it's enough to catch the bully off guard. 1, he counts calmly. The bully is completely dazed, trying to figure out what his deal is. Without missing a beat, Kiju pivots and unleashes another powerful strike. 2. The punch connects with the locker, creating a huge dent and a deafening crash. The bully stumbles back, his face a perfect mask of pure, unadulterated terror. But Kiju's cool facade immediately breaks as he cries out, Ow, that hurts. He instantly regrets it, thinking, that was a bad punch. Did I just wreck my fist? Yep, you sure did, buddy. As Saman watches, she is not impressed at all. Ugh, what an idiot. All talk. The other students, however, are starting to whisper. Hey, is the new kid actually tough? The whispers grow louder as they gawk at the destroyed locker. I thought Kyungtae's head exploded. The classroom is buzzing. Everyone's wondering if Kiju is secretly strong as they back away from the scene. Meanwhile, Kiju is having an internal meltdown. He's only been boxing for 3 months. His hand is literally stuck in the dented locker, and the pain is excruciating. He tries to save face, mustering a glare at Kyungtae, telling himself to keep it together. Kyungtae, completely spooked, makes a ridiculous excuse about his grandpa's memorial to get out of there. His friends drag him out the door, seemingly calling him out for the terrible lie. As he leaves, Kyungtae thinks to himself, wow, I almost ended up on my own memorial table. Good one, dude. Back in the classroom, everyone stares at Kiju, whose fist is still stuck. Crap, he's crazy strong, one mutters. Kiju grits his teeth, trying to hold on. Saman's still watching. Gotta keep it cool. Bro is fighting for his life and his riz at the same time. He finally yanks his hand free and turns to the class with a shaky smile. Let's all be friends, okay? The story of what happened spreads like wildfire through the school's group chats. Rumors start flying that he was the top dog at his old school and that he's a boxer. From the cafeteria to the sports field, everyone is talking about the new kid. As Kiju walks down the hall, everyone notices him. The entire mood has changed. The way people look at him now, it's totally different. He's a legend. The sea of students parts for him. He soaks it all in, a confident smile spreading across his face. Just then, he spots his target, Hyo-saman, laughing with a friend. He immediately takes off after her, calling out her name. As he basks in the glory, the rumors escalate. Now people are saying he's a pro boxer. The reality, however, is a little bit different. Our boy is at the hospital getting a partial cast. The doctor says he can go to school, but Kiju is bummed he has to take a break from boxing. He wraps the cast, regretting his sloppy punch. He realizes he got too tense trying to hit someone. His muscles stiffened, his balance went off, and his aim was completely thrown. Classic rookie mistake. He wonders if fighting for real is always this hard. Maybe it's finally time he tried sparring. But walking towards the gym, he second-guesses himself, thinking it might be too soon. He arrives at Wooseung Boxing Gym and tells his coach he needs to take a month off. And director Hyo completely explodes. Do you not get how important this time is? Kiju is totally confused by his coach's intense reaction. He's acting like Kiju insulted his entire family tree. What is his problem? Turns out the coach is panicking about the gym's rent and loans being due soon. So he quickly changes his tune, telling Kiju it'd be a waste of talent to stop now. Classic manipulation. Kiju just sadly holds up his bandaged hand. Checkmate, coach. The coach looks defeated, but then Salmon chimes in from the side. He is not Thomas Burns or anything, she scoffs. Not like he can suddenly do a flicker jab. The strange names catch Kiju's attention. Thomas Burns, flicker jab, and suddenly a light bulb goes off in his simple little mind. The coach's face lights up. Yeah, that is it. Time to show them your left hand is not just for show. He's talking about the legendary boxer Thomas Burns, a champion whose greatest weapon was his right straight. The flicker jab. Ryder, you are setting up a training arc, are you not? With a firm grasp, the coach gets fired up. Honestly, I have always seen a bit of Thomas Burns in you. He stares intensely at Kiju. Starting today, he's going to make Kiju's left jab a deadly weapon. The coach's eyes burn with intensity. He can already see people getting knocked out by Kiju's left. The idea sinks in for Kiju. A flicker jab, huh? This could be it. A spark of hope lights up within him. So there is more than one way to get strong in boxing. He clenches his fist, making a decision. I will give it a shot. And with that, Kiju begins a hardcore training regimen to power up his left jab. He toughens his knuckles by punching a tree until the bark splinters. A classic move. He even stands under a waterfall, practicing his jab against the rushing water. Artist, what movie is this from? Back at the gym, the coach catches him hitting a stack of tires. No one told him to do that yet, but it gets worse. Kiju prepares to plunge his hand into a pot of boiling water. The coach freaks out, screaming, "Are you crazy? What are you even doing?" The coach watches him train, deep in thought. He has been running this gym for over 20 years, and in that time he has met tons of trainees, so he knows what he's looking at. But this kid, he is a first. A kid who is totally untalented. Ouch. Despite his lack of natural talent, Kiju trains with a goofy, pained grin, giving it his all. Still, the coach thinks for now Kiju is his precious cash cow. Gotta pay those bills. Smiling, he gives Kiju a thumbs up. Well, his passion is real, at least. The next day at school, Kiju maintains his tough guy image, remembering his own rule. A beast never shows its weakness. He looks down at his bandaged hand, a reminder of his own stupidity. To keep up appearances, he shoves his hands into his pockets to hide the bandages. Meanwhile, in an alley near the school, Kyung-tae's friends are teasing him. One of them smirks, cigarette in hand. He says, "Hey Kyung-tae, be honest, you freaked out yesterday, right?" Kyung-tae, with his very distinctive blonde bowl cut, glares back in annoyance. His friend just laughs it off, saying, "Your grandpa is alive, dude. What a jerk, haha." This seems to be the last straw for Kyung-tae. He fires back, "You think you are so tough now?" He violently grabs his friend by the collar, asking him, "Have you grown up a lot?" Another member of the group steps in to break it up. "Hey, chill out, guys. Come on, relax," he says. The friend pushes Kyung-tae back, annoyed. "He got scared but blames me for it," the other whines. In his frustration, Kyung-tae kicks a nearby soda can into orbit. "Crap. Because of that jerk," he mutters, fuming about Kiju. His face is so red he's one breath away from self-combustion. The two guys start whispering amongst themselves. "But yesterday was kind of a fluke, was it not?" The other says, "That is what I am saying. He just punched wrong. That is all." Then the bigger guy replies with, "No one's actually seen him fight for real." He tries to quiet the other dude, muttering, "Hey, let us stop. Kyung-tae will hear us." But it's a little too late for that. Kyung-tae grits his teeth, the muscles in his jaw twitching with absolute rage. He explodes, turning on them, screaming, "You punks? Want me to show you?" His friends are taken aback. "What? Show us what?" they ask. "You think I am scared?" Kyung-tae says menacingly as he pulls out a box cutter. He stalks forward, blade in hand. His friends can't believe it. Is he seriously about to stab someone? One of them turns to the other, worried, saying, "Wongyu, I think Kyung-tae has really lost it. Should we not stop him?" But Choi Wongyu, the actual top dog, just smiles while petting a cat. "Leave it. This is fun." Determined to prove he's not scared, Kyung-tae marches back into the school. He throws open the classroom door with a loud bang, holding the box cutter for everyone to see. Hyo So-min, sitting at her desk, sighs in annoyance. Geez, does he not ever get tired of this? Kyung-tae's eyes lock onto his target, who is sitting calmly by the window. Lee Kiju, you... Kyung-tae seethes. Artist, you really went all out with the crazy eyes here. He tightens his grip on the blade, ready to do something incredibly stupid. "I will kill you," he screams, leaping over the desks towards Kiju. The entire class watches in absolute horror. This is really happening. Kyung-tae lunges forward, the blade about to hit. He's running entirely on spite and bad decisions. Kiju's just listening to music at his desk, completely unaware of what's about to happen. Bro's in his own music video while the plot loads. As Kyung-tae is about to stab Kiju, the big guy steps up. In a flash, he grabs Kyung-tae's shirt, yanking the blade out of his grasp. Suddenly, their friendship status is it's complicated. Everyone else is just trying to become one with their desks, hoping they don't exist. Then, in a move that no one saw coming, the box cutter plunges deep into Kiju's arm. The two stooges are sweating bullets, realizing Kyung-tae messed with the wrong music lover. Kiju's just sitting there like he just ordered a coffee with a box cutter chilling in his arm. And without even flinching, he just pulls the blade out like it's a splinter. His classmates are losing their minds. Whoa, he didn't even blink. They're in complete awe, wondering why he's not even bleeding. My dude might be a Terminator. Kiju gets to his feet and suddenly the room temperature drops about 20 degrees. Everyone is completely paralyzed with fear. He starts walking towards them and every single footstep echoes in the dead silent classroom. Salman, being the voice of reason for once, yells out that he's about to commit a crime. He's aiming at Kyungtae. The bully prepares for impact like a man who knows he messed up. But we have a plot twist. Kyungtae shields himself as Kiju just holds it out and says, "Here, this." He offers the weapon back with a grin, asking, "Is it yours?" Kyungtae couldn't believe it. The big guy sweats, grinning, "We're really sorry. We were just messing around." Kiju just gives him this super pleasant smile. "I see. Be more careful next time." Totally normal interaction. Soman breathes a huge sigh of relief. Phew, her dad's meal ticket is safe for another day. But what the guys saw wasn't a friendly smile. Oh no, they saw the face of an absolute demon. "Artist, you went hard on this panel." After school lets out, Kiju is just strolling through the now empty hallways like nothing happened. He stops in front of the school bulletin board, his eyes locking onto a single flyer. He thinks to himself, is this it? The match the director mentioned? A determined smile spreads across his face. Yes, this is it. Yep, this is his ticket to the big leagues. And immediately he's daydreaming about hoisting a championship belt as the crowd roars his name. Bro's already doing the victory speech in his head. He's completely convinced this is the only way to get the respect he deserves. Sure, buddy. His grand illusions of fame are suddenly interrupted by a faint meow. Thinking it must be a stray, he immediately scoops up the cute little cat for a cuddle. Suddenly, a voice calls out, "Spring, come here." It's another student, Choi Wongyu. Kiju realizes, it has an owner. The cat, hearing its master's voice, lets out a fierce hiss and leaps out of his grasp. It scampers away as Kiju apologizes awkwardly. "Sorry, I missed it." Wongyu just smiles. "It's okay. The butterfly will come to my hand anyway." Kiju's confused. "Huh? Didn't you call it spring?" Then Kiju notices that Wongyu is also staring at the boxing poster with this super sly grin. Without any warning, Wongyu grabs Kiju's hand, his intense smile making Kiju sweat. He gives Kiju's hand a little pat before turning and walking away. So weird. As Wongyu leaves, he thinks, my heart's pounding for once. Meanwhile, Kiju is just baffled. Am I already getting cheered on? Later, at the gym, Coach Hyo is having a full-blown aneurysm. What? Are you out of your mind? You want to enter the sports boxing championship? Kiju looks him dead in the eye, full of unearned confidence. Yes, director, I'm going to enter and win. The coach's face just crumples in pure horror as slumps on his chair. Coach Hyo is having a meltdown. He thinks Kiju has a classic case of what he calls 3-month overconfidence syndrome. He's terrified Kiju will get destroyed, quit boxing, and then he won't be able to make his rent payments. Trying to reason with him, the coach points out, "You're still injured. This match is way too much for you right now." But Kiju is confident. "Director, have you forgotten?" He clenches his fist. "Don't I have Thomas Burns' flicker jab?" With a dazzling smile, he adds, "The cast comes off in 2 weeks." Coach Hyo slams his hands on the desk again, absolutely losing his mind. Kiju just looks back, completely unfazed by the screaming. What? Realizing yelling won't work, the coach tries a new tactic. You're not meant to play in such small waters. He starts pacing, getting animated. Would it be fair if Ronaldo played in a youth soccer club? We're sportsmen. We have to maintain sportsmanship. And Kiju, the genius, actually starts considering it. Now that you mention it, that makes sense. The coach leans in, sensing victory. Right, a high schooler can't get involved in elementary fights, right? Kiju's expression turns serious again, but he grins sheepishly, scratching his head. Still, every journey starts with a single step. I'll humbly start with recreational boxing. The coach gets hit with a metaphorical lightning bolt. His entire plan is completely shattered. He knows this is a disaster. With Kiju's talent, a first-round KO is obvious. He lets out a long, defeated sigh. There's just no convincing this kid. He steels himself, a new plan forming. No choice, I'll just have to let him try. He locks his fingers together, declaring, if that's really what you want, we start hardcore training from today. Kiju just gives a confident thumbs up. Yes, director. He has no idea what he just signed up for. The coach's first order is insane. Start with 30,000 jump ropes right now. 4 weeks later, the gym door swings open. 2 men walk in. The older one calls out, Director, I'm here. Kiju, sweating buckets from his workout, turns around. Who is it? The man introduces himself as the director of the boxing gym next door. He asks if Director Hyo is in. Kiju flashes a friendly, sweaty smile, saying, he stepped out for a bit of business. The visiting director looks annoyed. Oh no, I should have called first. He explains that the younger guy with him is also entering the tournament, and he came to get him some sparring experience. The director looks around the empty gym. But the director's not here and there's no one else around. He turns to Kiju. If it's okay, would you like to give it a try? You're the only one here anyway. Kiju's eye widens in shock. Sparring? The word hits him harder than any punch will. He's completely caught off guard. His first sparring match, out of nowhere. But then his main character energy kicks in. This is the perfect test run before the real match. The bell rings and the match officially begins. The two fighters circle each other, their shoes squeaking on the mat. Kiju's heart is pounding in his chest. He tells himself to stay calm and not get too excited. He tries to rationalize it. The other guy isn't a pro either. He's just a regular person, same as him. He repeats to himself over and over, "Don't be scared." They prepare to charge at each other, both vibrating with pure, unnecessary intensity. Kiju's eyes widen. Here he comes. A fist slams into Kiju's headgear. He reminds himself not to drop his guard. He's shocked by the attack. A rear hand? His opponent throws another powerful punch, aiming to end it quick. But Kiju's training finally kicks in. Duck. He drops down low, the punch sailing right over his head. Whoa! He can't believe it. He actually used ducking in a real fight. It worked. The visiting director watches from the side, looking pretty intrigued by this. Kiju sees his chance. Great. An opening. But something's wrong. Huh? Before he can land his punch, a counter hits him square in the face. Ugh. The force of the blow sends him stumbling back across the ring. The other director shouts encouragement to his fighter. That's it. Good. Keep pushing forward. Kiju regains his composure. He got hit, and man, was it faster than he expected. His opponent rushes in again, closing the distance in an instant. Kiju raises his guard just in time to block a flurry of incoming punches. He's completely on the defensive, getting battered and unable to find any room to breathe. An image of Director Hio flashes in his mind. Kiju is frantically thinking to himself, "Ugh, I can't see an opening." The coach's voice echoes in his head. When does your opponent show an opening? When they're pulling back a thrown punch. At that exact moment, if I throw my punch simultaneously, it's easy to exploit the gap. Back in the present, his opponent pulls back his fist. Kiju's eyes gleam with understanding. Now, he throws a jab, aiming perfectly for the opening. It connects. A perfect, clean hit. He did it. His jab actually landed. With the opening created, it's time for his ultimate finishing move. Flicker jab. A rapid series of punches rains down on his opponent's head. The visiting director watches, impressed. It's just an imitation, but it is incredibly fast. But the other boxer weathers the storm, managing to block the flurry of blows. Kiju's eyes widen in horror. He sees it coming. Here comes the counter. The spiky-haired boxer's eyes are filled with intense focus as he prepares his own attack. No way! He's throwing a punch at the exact same time. Their fists fly towards each other. A double counter in the making. This is gonna hurt. A black glove smashes into Kiju's cheek, while Kiju's red glove slams right into his opponent's jaw. The impact sends the spiky-haired boxer reeling back with a pained grunt. Whoa, another solid hit. Is he secretly the reincarnation of Thomas Burns? But hold on, his opponent is still standing. All that effort, all that brutal, mind-numbing training, it's finally paying off. A thought hits him like a jab. This sparring match, I can actually win this. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the city, Director Hio stands outside a bank and lets out a huge sigh of relief. Looks like he just dodged financial ruin. And hey, he remembers his buddy's boxing gym is right around the corner. His primary motivation? You guessed it. Free coffee. This guy knows how to live. He strolls into the gym and wow, the place is absolutely packed with people training. He's got to wonder what their secret is. This gym is always buzzing with new members. One of the boxers spots him. Director Hio, what are you doing here? The director greets the kid, Jong Ho, and asks if his friend, the gym's director, is around. Turns out the director took one of his own members over to a place called Yusung Boxing Gym for a little sparring session. Wait a minute, Director Hio freezes. To our gym? He didn't even call me. And then, a horrifying thought hits him. There's only one person at his gym right now, our boy Kiju. My man bolts out of there like his life depends on it, absolutely screaming his head off. Cut back to Yusung Gym. So much for winning. Kiju is down for the count. Hio-saman is leaning over him, looking totally shocked. What on earth happened to you? The overhead shot tells the whole story, folks. Our boy is completely knocked out in the middle of the ring. Just then, Director Hio bursts through the door, looking like he's seen a ghost. He sees Kiju on the floor, and his eyes practically pop out of his head. Kiju is crying now, telling Saman he thinks he has absolutely no talent for this. Hearing this, Director Hio is flabbergasted. He charges the ring like a bull, tossing Saman away like she weighs nothing. Smooth. Turns out his opponent was the infamous Dunson Dong Iron Fist, a guy so tough he was almost scouted by gangsters. She gently cleans up his nose, asking how he got so beat up even while wearing headgear. She lightly scolds him for not keeping his guard up, and the close proximity makes our boy blush like crazy. Meanwhile, Director Hio is in the background, making up wild excuses about the other guy being related to Pacquiao. Suddenly, Summon's eyes narrow in on his feet. You wore these for sparring? Kiju is confused. Yeah? Summon points out that's why he slipped and messed up his knee. And that's when it clicks for Director Hio. The light bulb finally goes on over his head. That's it, Kiju. This was your problem. He yells that footwork is crucial and asks why on earth he's wearing running shoes. Kiju looks completely lost. Boxing shoes? Salmon has to explain that every sport has its own gear. Her dad snaps his fingers. Right. If your lower body is unstable, you're always going to be at a disadvantage. Salmon closes the first aid kit. Anyway, if you want to keep boxing, you should probably buy some boxing shoes. She then offers to help him pick some out, and Kiju's face turns into a tomato. NASA could probably detect that blush from orbit. His mind immediately jumps to a fantasy date. Shopping, coffee, the whole 9 yards. Dude, chill. Salmon snaps him back to reality, telling him to think it over. Kiju panics and asks when they can go. But before she can answer, Director Hio slaps a hand on Kiju's shoulder with a giant grin. No need to go far. He whips out a flyer full of boxing shoes. You can choose from here. It's much cheaper. Oh boy, here we go. Kiju tries to squirm out of it, saying he already promised to go shopping with Salmon. Of course, the director booms. So Min will choose for you right here. What do you think, honey? Salmon leans in and points one out. Isn't this one better? She notes the price is great. Only 99,001. They'd probably be 150,000 in stores. But then, something hits Kiju. He's seen those exact same shoes for only 68,001. He clenches his fists. That snake, Director Hio, is totally ripping him off. Sometime later, back at the gym, Kiju is trying out his new overpriced shoes, practicing his footwork. Director Hio asks how they feel. It's definitely different, right? He says, all smug. Kiju has to admit they do feel different. He feels way more stable. His attention is then drawn to the ring where Salmon is getting ready to spar. Her dad proudly tells Kiju to watch carefully, bragging about her natural athletic ability. Kiju sees her opponent as a guy, and he's got this super cocky smirk on his face. The guy is already showboating. Aw, I can't hit girls. Famous last words, buddy? Kiju is just glaring from the sidelines. This dude is seriously underestimating her. The bell rings, the match begins, and they touch gloves. It's on. Kiju clenches his fists, his eyes burning with intensity as he cheers her on. So Min, fighting. The match starts, and her opponent immediately lands a clean jab right on her. Oof. She stumbles back from the hit, but her expression is pure, unyielding determination. She doesn't back down for a second. She dodges and drives a powerful body shot right into his ribs. Then he just explodes with a furious barrage of punches, completely overwhelming Salmon. All she can do is cover up as he hammers away at her guard, giving her no room to breathe. Kiju watches from the side, nervously biting his thumb. Is it impossible to overcome that kind of strength difference? But Director Hio tells him not to worry. He says it's time for Kiju to learn this next technique too. Kiju is confused. A technique? The director calls it the ultimate finishing move. Now I'm interested. Inside the ring, Salmon's opponent has had enough. Let's end this. He roars. But Salmon's gaze is perfectly calm and focused. It's like she was waiting for this exact moment. Director Hio's eyes seem to glow with intensity. He's thinking, now's the time. Inside the ring, her opponent charges, throwing everything he has into a massive right hook. But the guy is completely floored. Salmon just sways back, dodging it by a hair's breadth. And before he can even blink, a flash of red leather comes flying right back at him. Bam! The counter sends him sailing across the canvas. That looked like it hurt. Watching from ringside, Kiju's jaw is on the floor. He cannot believe what he just saw. But Director Hio? It looks like he knew it all along. What a show-off. And the winner, standing over the dude she just sent to Dreamland, is Hio Salmon. She just pulls off her headgear and lets out a little sigh. It's just another day for her. Director Hio just shakes his head. I told you to go easy on him, he says. Then he turns to Kiju. That's the finishing move you need to master. Kiju is still trying to process it. Whoa, director, what even was that? He replays it in his head. For a second, it looked like Salmon just teleported. And then came that absolutely brutal, lightning-fast counterpunch. Curious? The director asks with a grin. Want me to teach you? Kiju just nods like a bobblehead. Yes, please. And so the lesson begins. The secret, he says, is all in the step. When your opponent's punch is coming, you slip back just enough to make them miss. The opponent is left totally confused, his fist hitting nothing but air. And the moment they're overextended, you step back in and deliver a massive counter. It's a guaranteed one-hit knockout. Simple, but deadly. Suddenly, it all clicks for Kiju. The light bulb goes off. He remembers his own fight. He threw a punch and thought he'd landed it first. But his opponent had slipped back just enough, taking all the power out of the hit. And then, Kiju thinks, recalling the painful result, I was the only one who got hit, because his opponent used that exact same move to knock him out cold. The director summarizes, basically your opponent slipped back, then banged you. Get it? Kiju clenches his fist, eyes burning with a new fire. Teach me, I need to learn that move. The director gets a serious look. All right then. Hardcore training starts now. Kiju screams, yes. Then the director just tells him to keep working out and walks off. Kiju calls out, wait. Hyo turns back, all confused. What's the move called? Kiju asks. The director points dramatically. It is called Slip Bang. Kiju is not impressed. Slip Bang? Is there a real name for it? The director looks completely lost. A real name, he says? Nah, Slip Bang is just Slip Bang. My man is a genius at naming things. And with that incredibly creative name, Kiju begins his special training. He grinds out the footwork over and over. First the slip back, then the explosive dash forward. He roars as he unleashes the powerful counterpunch. Okay, that's it for today, the director yells. He tells Kiju that after a month of this, he's definitely got the move down. Kiju is completely drenched in sweat, but thanks his coach. There's only 3 days left until his big match. Hyo tells him to just focus on his condition. Kiju agrees and heads for a much-needed shower, while the director grinds on his mobile game. The cool water washes over Kiju's now seriously ripped physique. The training paid off. Meanwhile, Somin tells her dad, who's still glued to his game, that she's going to clean the shower room. Back in the locker room, Kiju gets dressed, pulling on his sweats. He's just casually drying his hair with a towel, humming a tune. Suddenly, the locker room door swings wide open. Uh-oh. And who walks in? Somin, of course. She freezes, completely shocked to see our boy shirtless. And Kiju, the absolute genius, strikes a pose like he's in a commercial. Bro's charisma is doing all the heavy lifting. The two of them just stand there staring at each other in the most awkward silence ever. Somin finally breaks, blushing and annoyed. Just hurry up, she says. She slams the door shut, leaving Kiju standing there completely bewildered. His face turns bright red as he realizes what just happened. So embarrassing. But outside, Solman is leaning against the wall, blushing hard. When did he get so, she thinks. Her dad snaps her out of it after losing his game. Ah, man. I'm dead. Huh? What are you just standing there for? He asks, noticing his zoned-out daughter. Still flustered and now super annoyed, Samin just stands there fuming. She screams that she doesn't know and he can clean it himself, then chucks the cleaning supplies at him. Later that night, Kiju and Samin are walking home together under the full moon. Kiju realizes they've been walking home together a lot since he started training so hard, and you can cut the awkward tension between them with a knife. Samin finally speaks up, trying to talk about what she saw earlier, specifically his body. But Kiju has something to say too. They got shy, not knowing who to talk first. Kiju's now blushing and scratching his neck. What a dork. He stammers for her to talk first, and she clarifies she just meant he needs to take care of himself. Kiju agrees, then quickly changes the subject, saying the shoes she got him are great. Really? That's good, she says. And we're right back to the awkward silence. These two are hopeless. Suddenly, a loud cheer comes from some guys at an arcade punching machine. One of them hit a new record. They look over and recognize them. Oh great, it's Kyungtae's gang. Kyungtae himself turns and spots them. He immediately recognizes Kiju. Somin gives them a wary look while Kiju just gives them a friendly wave. He's too nice. Kyungtae gets right in their faces, asking if they're on a date. Kiju gets all nervous, saying it's more than a date, making it even more awkward. Kyungtae gets a sly grin. Should we test it out? He asks. His buddy agrees, saying his record is unbeatable anyway, so confident. Kyungtae turns to Kiju and points at the machine. Hey, want to give it a shot? Kiju tries to get out of it, saying he's never tried one before. But the bully doesn't care, grabbing Kiju's shoulder and dragging him over. The whole gang surrounds him, telling Kiju he'd set a new high score. They start setting up a challenge. If Kiju can't beat the record, Kyungtae wins. And of course, they want to make a bet on it. The stakes? The loser has to be their bread shuttle for a month. A lunch gopher. Wow. Somin has had enough of this nonsense and tells them to stop. But Kiju is just staring down the machine, a determined look on his face. I've never tried, he thinks. You can see his quiet resolve on his face. Should I try it? This sounds fun. Our boy Kiju squares up to the punch machine. The guys, of course, immediately start clowning on him. Just listen to them. Is he really going to hit it with that form? My man, your stance looks like a newborn deer trying to walk. They're already joking that if he breaks his wrist, it's his own darn problem. What a great group of pals. Samin, being the only person who's thinking here, warns him about getting hurt right before his big match. Thank you, Samin, for your service to logic and survival. But Kyungtae just scoffs. He says if Kiju's wrist is that weak, he has no business being in a match anyway. What a supportive dude. Kiju just tunes out the haters, focusing on his technique. He pictures the target as his opponent's face. Okay, little psycho, but I guess that's the spirit. He lets it rip with a straight right, and whack, a solid, clean hit right on the money. The score flickers and lands on a measly 450. Ouch. That is just sad, my friend. Kyungtae does a full-on spit take, and the whole crew absolutely loses it. They are howling with laughter. One of them taunts him, asking if he's going easy on purpose. He says he's already looking forward to his free bread delivery. Someone finally snaps, asking why they're all jumping in when the bet was just with Kyungtae. Good question. Kyungtae just gives her a greasy smile. Don't worry about it, just include us in the fun. Then he gets even creepier. Or you could help Kiju out. Dude, back off. Seriously. Salmon tells them to take it easy, but they just laugh and say it's all part of the bet. These guys are the worst. But Kiju ignores them. A light bulb goes off in his head. Wait, can I practice slip bang on this thing? As the punching bag resets, his eyes narrow. He's got an idea, folks. The comeback arc is loading. He imagines it just like in practice, an opponent's fist flying right for his face. He slips to the side, dodging the phantom punch and winding up for a massive counter. Boom! He unleashes the full power of the slip bang, and his fist absolutely demolishes the machine. The impact sends out a literal shockwave. Everyone around them just stops and stares, completely stunned. The machine actually starts smoking as the score goes haywire, flying past 900. The machine dings, "Congratulations, you've set a new record." Kiju just looks at his hand like, "Oh, so that actually worked?" The bully's jaws are on the floor. Someone asks if his wrist is okay. Kiju just grins and flexes his hand. "Yeah, it's fine. Did I really set a new record?" "Yes, you did, my psycho friend. Yes, you did." Kyungtae's little sidekick starts panicking, but Kyungtae just hisses at him to shut up. The panic is real. He tries to backtrack, nervously saying it was just a joke between friends. Oh, now it's a joke. But Salmon cuts him right off. "Don't forget the bread too. By the way, I eat 2 pieces minimum." Savage. Kyungtae is sweating now. She pats his shoulder with zero sympathy. "If it's too hard, I'm sure your friends can help you." The ultimate power move. Then she grabs Kiju's hand and just says, "Let's go, Kiju." Queen behavior right there. Our boy Kiju, looking totally flustered, just lets himself get dragged away, leaving the humiliated bullies in his dust. And just like that, the day of the 10th Sports Boxing Championship arrives. Inside, the whole place is buzzing with energy. Boxers are warming up everywhere you look. But over in the athletes' dressing room, we've got a problem. A big one. Director Hyo is pacing like a caged animal while Solman frantically tries to call Kiju. The director is annoyed now. That punk Kiju, is he seriously not answering his phone? Salmon confirms it. She keeps calling, but it just rings and rings. Not a good sign, folks. The coach is having a full-blown meltdown. Geez, what is that kid doing on the most important day? Suddenly, the door flies open and a tournament official steps in, looking very serious. Director Hyo immediately puts on a fake smile, trying to assure the guy that Kiju is totally on his way. The official is not buying it for a second. He checks his watch. Oh no, what happens if he's a no-show? The coach insists Kiju isn't the type to flake, but the official isn't here to play games. If he doesn't show up in 10 minutes, he says he's disqualified. And with that, he's gone. The door slams shut and the director's panic mode is back online. Still not answering? He roars. Salmon just stares at her phone, worried sick. Did something happen to him? Meanwhile, Kiju's phone is buzzing away in his gym bag, completely ignored. Classic. Our boy is sweating now, scrambling in a car in the middle of the street. And why? Because he's stuck in a massive traffic jam caused by some kind of protest. You can't make this stuff up. He's desperately begging the taxi driver to go faster. My dude, where is he supposed to go? The driver is like, "Kid, look around. You think I enjoy sitting here? The road's a parking lot." Kiju glances at the clock. It's 2:49. He thinks, "I have to be there by 3 o'clock. The driver tells him it's impossible. With 3 kilometers left, his best bet is to just run for it. So what does our hero do? He bolts out of the cab without a second thought. Keep the change. His feet hit the pavement and he is gone, breaking into an all-out sprint. Look at him go. He's running like his life depends on it, pure determination on his face. He's in full-on parkour mode, vaulting over walls and anything else in his way without even slowing down. He's literally flying through the air, pushing himself to the absolute limit. He thinks, "I can make it." He knows that all that insane training he did is about to pay off right here, right now. Lee Kiju becomes a blur of motion, a human missile tearing down the empty city streets. And then just as the final seconds are ticking away, the waiting room door bursts open with a massive slam. Director Hyo whips his head around, startled. Kiju. Soman, who was literally about to redial, looks over just as shocked as he is. He made it. But hold on, just seconds before that heroic entrance, a very angry official was laying down the law with Director Hyo and Salmon. They're sweating bullets, trying their best to stall for time. But this guy is not having it. He has the kind of disappointment your dad has when he sees your report card. That's it. He's had enough. Kiju is going to be forfeited. Director Hyo desperately tries to stop him. But then a blur of motion barrels down the hallway at ludicrous speed. Everyone whips around, wondering what that sound was. Is it a bird? A plane? Nope. It's our boy Kiju running for his life like he's about to miss the last bus home. Director Hyo's face lights up. The cavalry has arrived. About time someone showed up. But in true Kiju fashion, his foot immediately betrays him on the polished floor. Oh no. He completely loses his balance, his face contorting in a beautiful, painful grimace, like he's auditioning for Pain Olympics. And down he goes. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen. So majestic. He slides across the floor and comes to a dead stop face down right at the official's shoes. The official just stares down at him, probably wondering if he just witnessed a murder. But Director Hyo rushes over, grabs Kiju by the hoodie, and starts celebrating like they just won. Salmon and the official are not impressed. I mean, the kid looks like a wet noodle right now. But then, Kiju sweats even more. The coach declares, of course, he can do it. The official is completely stunned. He says, then, get ready. Director Hyo grabs him, yelling that there's no time to waste. But he stops dead when he sees Kiju's face turning a lovely shade of purple. They start freaking out, yelling for a bucket. Our boy is about to redecorate the hallway. Somehow they make it inside the massive arena, where Director Hyo gives Kiju a final pep talk. He's giving him the classic coach speech. Remember your training? You worked harder than anyone. Salman is nodding along, all serious. He finishes with a powerful, I believe in you. And Kiju? My guy looks completely dead inside, probably wondering why anyone would trust him right now. Well, too late now. The ref calls for the fighters. It's showtime. As the crowd cheers, Kiju and his opponent make their way to the ring. The director gives some last-minute advice. Your opponent is an in-fighter, hit and run. Got it? Kiju just sweats and manages a weak yes. He looks ready for a nap, not a fight. He steps into the ring and his legs are already trembling. This is not a good sign, folks. The coach thinks it will be an easy win for the opponent. This is just like a humiliation ritual. From the sidelines, the team is worried now. Salmon knows his lower body is completely shot from that sprint. The referee calls them to the center for the final instructions. As the ref talks, the director mutters to himself, maybe I should have just let the kid be late. Ouch. But Salmon just stares forward with a determined look and says, begin. The bell rings. The referee screams, box, and the fight is on. The small crowd roars to life, and some guy in the back yells that he bet on the blue corner. Good luck with that, pal. The two fighters begin to move around each other in the ring. Kiju is still trying to catch his breath. Is he just a walking corpse now? And then, the opponent just unleashes a furious combo like he has a personal vendetta against our boy Kiju. Director Hyo is having a heart attack on the sidelines, screaming at him to move around. But Kiju just can't keep up. Everything is a blur and his gloves feel like they weigh a ton. The pressure of his first match, the insane exhaustion from his sprint, it's all crashing down on him at once. My dude is just too tired. His stats have been nerfed to the ground. His guard begins to drop, leaving his face wide open. This is bad. Really bad. The opponent's eyes narrow. He sees the opening and thinks, it's over. He winds up, about to deliver the final devastating blow. Just then, Salmon's voice cuts through the noise, screaming, snap out of it, Kiju. She screams his name like it's the last functioning brain cell. In that instant, everything freezes. Kiju's eyes snap open, the exhaustion replaced by pure focus. A flashback. He remembers the director's training. Listen carefully, Kiju. When the counter is coming, slip back exactly one fist's width. The muscle memory kicks in. Back in the present, Kiju's body reacts on pure instinct. He shifts back just as the punch whizzes past his face. This is it. The perfect timing to unleash his secret weapon. The slip bang. He digs his foot into the canvas and puts every last ounce of his strength into the punch. The crowd goes silent. Director Hyo and Salmon are watching, their jaws on the floor. The director can't even bear to watch. He covers his face, probably praying this works. This is now a problem for whatever higher power is listening. From the opponent's view, Kiju's glove is a blue blur rushing toward him. He's totally shocked. But Kiju realizes something is wrong. His punch is short, exactly one fist's width short. He swings hard. The opponent dodges like this is light cardio. His last words are basically, that scared me, right before the punch connects with a sickening crunch. Oh no, it's a perfect hit. Kiju stumbles back as the entire crowd loses their minds. Director Hyo watches with a dead serious expression. He knows it's not over yet. Boom! The opponent's uppercut sends Kiju flying. He's literally skidding across the canvas, like this is suddenly ice hockey. On the sidelines, Director Hyo is face-palming. Salmon is worried. And yep, there it is. Kiju catches himself on the ropes, stopping his fall just in time. Our boy is not giving up just yet. The opponent turns around with a smug grin. He's literally asking if that was a lucky shot, and he can't believe it. Kiju didn't even fall down. He rushes in and throws a massive hook. Meanwhile, in the hallways, a new crew is rolling in. You can just tell these guys are trouble. It's Choi Wong-yu and his goons, and of course they're already trash-talking our boy Kiju. His buddies are still arguing about being the bread shuttle. Remember that? After losing the punch machine bet. Wong-yu just smirks. He remembers that little incident quite well, doesn't he? Kiju even broke Kyung-tae's record. Even so, Kyung-tae is not exactly weak. The whole squad finally makes it to the stands, just in time to watch the show. But Wang Yu couldn't quite believe something. His friend is losing his mind. Kim Tae's asking, "What? That loser actually knows how to box?" Although back in the ring, Kiju is getting absolutely wrecked. He is completely outmatched right now. Kiju tries to keep up, he cannot. He's just getting pummeled. A non-stop flurry of punches is backing him closer into the corner. Director Hyo is screaming from the sidelines, "Don't get pushed into the corner. Get out of there." Kiju tries to pivot, but his foot slips on a puddle of sweat. Kiju is on his opponent in a second, grabbing him in a clinch. The guy looks so annoyed. The ref has to dive in and pull them apart. "Stop. Stop. Look at Kiju. My man is running on fumes. He can barely even stand up straight." The ref gives the signal to continue the fight. He claps his hands and yells, "Box." And immediately, Kiju gets rocked with another brutal combo. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, right to the face. Saman tells her dad to throw in the towel. She thinks Kiju is finished, but Director Hyo isn't giving up. "We don't know yet," he says. He says something wild. Maybe that kid was born with luck. Okay, get ready for this, folks. The director explains that a drunk person gets hurt less in a car accident. Apparently, it's because their bodies are relaxed. They don't tense up, so they absorb the impact better. And right now, Kiju is so out of it, he might as well be drunk. Admit it, the logic is amazing. He's literally moving on pure instinct. My guy has entered zombie mode. His eyes are glowing. His opponent is completely confused. He's like, "What the heck? Is this guy a zombie?" But inside Kiju's scrambled brain, there's only one thought. "I have to win this to impress So-min." Of course. And with that one thought, his body just moves. He instinctively ducks right under a massive punch. Director Hyo explains that dodging should be fluid, like water. And Kiju is now the whole ocean. His total exhaustion is actually giving him perfect form. This is the ultimate beginner's luck. Saman hears this, and you can see the gears turning. She's thinking, that makes sense. Even Wang Yu and his buddies are starting to look concerned. Their smug faces are gone. Kiju throws another punch, but it's short again. He's just too tired to put any power into it. The slip bang, the super secret ultimate move, is not working. He literally grabs his head and screams, "I'm screwed." Yeah, you think? Self-awareness finally logged in. The opponent sees his chance and charges in for the final blow. Kiju dodges and stumbles back. His balance is gone. He's trying so hard to recover, but it's no use. His legs just buckle. It's over. But wait, as he's falling forward on pure instinct, he throws one last desperate uppercut. It connects. A perfect counter uppercut, right on the chin. Bam. The other guy is launched into the air. He's completely out cold before he even hits the mat. Kiju is just frozen there, his fist still extended. He used every last bit of his energy on that one punch. The entire arena goes silent. Wang Yu and his friends are just staring, not believing what they are seeing. The crowd, the ref, everyone is just speechless. Nobody can believe what they just saw. Saman is in total shock, her hands covering her mouth. Impossible. The referee finally snaps out of it and dives to the mat, yelling "down." And the entire stadium just explodes. The roar is absolutely deafening. Nobody's hearing anything for the next hour. Even Director Hyo is on his feet. Absolute triumph. Back in the ring, Kiju is slowly realizing what happened. His ultimate move, the slip bang, it actually worked. He throws his arms up, celebrating this insane, unbelievable victory. Up in the stands, Wang Yu's friends are totally confused. What just happened? Did Kiju actually win? But Wang Yu just calmly says, "Good for him." His friends have no idea what to think. He actually smiles and says, "I was worried he wouldn't even get a chance to strike back." And the Jumbotron makes it official. A first-round KO victory for our boy, Lee Kiju. Director Hyo rushes into the ring and grabs Kiju in a massive hug, crying, "Kiju, I knew you could do it." Despite his state, Kiju manages this huge, happy grin. But his celebration gets cut short. He spots someone familiar up in the crowd. He knows him instantly. It's the guy he sparred with right before the tournament. The spiky-haired fighter, the Dunson Dong Iron Fist. A silent challenge is definitely being thrown down. The moment is broken by the announcer. The next match is Gang Deo-gu versus Choi Wang Yu. And the spiky-haired fighter Gang Do gives us one last intense look before his match. The announcer doesn't even let the ring cool down. He's already calling up the next fighters for the final match of this block. Up in the stands, Wang Yu's buddies are acting all high and mighty. One asks if he'll win, and the other just scoffs like it's the dumbest question he's ever heard. They start screaming from the cheap seats, telling him to end it in one shot as Wang Yu makes his way to the ring. Total supportive friend energy, right? Wang Yu just glances back, probably thinking about how he's going to find new friends after this tournament. Then Kyung Tae spots the competition making his entrance. He's like, "Oh, the other guy's coming out too." And just like that, all their confidence evaporates. Uh-oh, that guy looks pretty strong too. Yeah, no kidding. It's Gang Daku. the Dunsandong Iron Fist himself, getting a last-minute strategy session from his coach. Wang Yu stares across the ring, trying to size up the guy. The Dunsandong Iron Fist warms himself up with a few practice shots, and the sound of his gloves hitting the air echoes like a warning. He raises his guard, and you can't tell what he's thinking at all. But Wang Yu just smirks. He looks like he's actually excited for a real challenge. Famous last words, buddy. The ref signals both fighters to the center of the ring. It's time to get this show on the road. The crowd erupts. The final match to decide who faces Kiju is finally about to begin. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. You can practically hear people sweating. But Wang Yu looks almost bored. He's thinking, the guy I really want to have fun with is someone else. He means Kiju. He has no idea what's coming. The audience couldn't wait for the match to start. Meanwhile, back in the locker room, Director Hyo drops a bombshell. He asks, why don't you forfeit? Salmon is completely floored. Forfeit? What are you even talking about right now? Director Hyo says it's a shame, but getting this far is amazing enough. He gestures to Kiju, who's basically a puddle in a chair. Does he look okay to you, he asks. Fair point, he does look pretty rough. Director Hyo explains that if Kiju stops now, he can walk away with glory and without any serious injuries. He can quit and still look cool, somehow. Salmon repeats his words, glory without injury. She's not buying what her dad is selling. And then we see his real motive. Hyo points out that even if Kiju forfeits, he automatically gets second place. This guy. Salmon crosses her arms, unimpressed. She asks, was that what you were aiming for this whole time? Director Hyo is already lost in a daydream, saying, finally, our gym's first certificate of the year. He's literally surrounded by hearts. He's basically in a rom-com montage alone. He snaps back to reality and admits Kiju got lucky. He thinks it's better to quit now before he gets traumatized in his first real finals. Director Hyo thinks to himself that Kiju definitely has some serious plot armor, but then another thought hits him. He remembers Kiju's fight. The way he moved, instinctively dodging and countering, even when he was totally gassed. He flashes back to that look in Kiju's eyes. It was a weird, almost primal focus, something he's never seen before. But he just shakes his head, dismissing it. No way, that can't be it. Oh, but it is, my friend. It is. Just then, a voice cuts through the room. It's Kiju. Director, he calls out. He looks up, sweat pouring down his face, but his eyes are blazing. I'm not forfeiting. I'm doing the finals, he tells them. Salmon and Director Hyo just stare at each other. Director Hyo tries to talk him out of it, saying it's his first match and he doesn't need to push himself this hard. The translation? Don't embarrass yourself too much. Suddenly, Kiju shoots to his feet. The sudden movement makes the director jump back. Whoa! He just starts walking away. The director asks him, where are you going? To watch the match, Kiju says without even turning around. It's still going on, right? Director Hyo is totally lost. He stammers, well, yeah, the first round just started. Kiju doesn't break stride. He'll go watch and come back. And with that, he's out the door, leaving them speechless. Out in the arena, the ref's count is already at 5, 6, 7. Things escalated quickly. Kiju arrives just in time to see the official jotting down notes. Our boy looks totally shocked. What in the world happened here? The count keeps going. 8, 9, 10. The bell rings. That's it. It's all over. The crowd is going nuts. It's another knockout, and they can't believe how fast it was. A total one-sided beatdown. Gang Dogu, the Dunsandong Iron Fist, has won the match. Wang Yu is out cold on the mat. His coach comes over and says, kid, easy on him. Why'd you have to go that far? Dogu just stares straight ahead with zero emotion. Turns out, he just didn't like Wang Yu. That's it. That's the entire reason. His coach just sighs, tells him good job, and hands him a water bottle. What else can you even say to that? But as he takes a drink, he spots someone in the crowd watching him. It's Kiju, standing right at the entrance to the arena floor, having seen the whole thing. Diogu's coach is rambling on about his next opponent, but Diogu isn't listening anymore. He's on a mission. He walks straight for Kiju, who nervously gulps. Yeah, I'd be nervous too, my friend. They stand face to face, and the air crackles between them. Diogu speaks first. We'll face off again. Looking forward to it. Kiju's heart is pounding out of his chest as his next opponent just turns and walks away like nothing happened. Salmon finally runs up, having seen the dramatic exit. Huh, what? Is it over already? She missed the whole show. She's completely confused about why Kiju is acting so strange all of a sudden. Kiju clenches his fists. That little challenge lit a fire under him. The protagonist's power-up has been activated. Salmon puts a hand on his back, trying to be supportive. She tells him, you don't need to push yourself. She looks at him with genuine concern in her eyes. That's enough already, she pleads. But Kiju's mind is made up. His eyes are shining with pure resolve. I'll do it. The finals. I want to, he declares. He's gone full shonen protagonist on us, folks. Salmon can't believe what she's hearing. She's like, why are you suddenly getting that determined look? But our boy doesn't need to say a word. His expression says it all. He's ready. bro is locked in. And just like that, it's time for the final match. The crowd is roaring, hungry for another knockout. Anyway, as the bell rings, let's just get philosophical a bit, shall we? When you get down to it, what is fighting really about? Kiju realizes hitting and getting hit isn't all that different from the miserable life he's lived so far. But this place, it's different. It's unusually bright under these arena lights. It's filled with a hot, intense energy he's never felt before. He glances over and sees Saman watching from the corner. He raises his guard, wondering what makes this different from all the other fights he's been in. Isn't it all just fighting miserably in the end? He thinks, remembering the defeated look on Wang Yu's face. His knocked-out look is like a cursed reaction image he can't delete. But as he stomps forward, a tremor runs through him. And strangely, this trembling feeling, it doesn't feel bad at all. With a smirk on his face, he launches himself forward, throwing the very first punch of the final showdown. Let's go. The punch connects and... Wait, hold on. The artist is showing us the outside of the stadium? Now? Okay, fine. We're at the 10th Amateur Boxing Championship, folks. Let's get back to the action, please. In the crowd, Wang Yu's buddies are sweating bullets. But Saman? She's got that ice-cold glare, looking completely unfazed. Alright, back in the ring. Our boy Kiju is in blue, trading shots with Gang Dioku in red, and it looks like Kiju is already on the ropes. He's totally gassed, his legs are wobbling like a newborn deer. His opponent, on the other hand? The dude looks like he just woke up from a refreshing nap, not a single drop of sweat. Kiju is practically drowning in his own perspiration here. The pressure is on and he is not handling it well. Then suddenly the opponent moves forward. Our boy Kiju ducks. Somehow, the punch doesn't connect. Still, Kiju's defense totally shattered. Diogu sees the opening and follows up with another brutal shot right to the face. And Kiju is down. He hits the canvas hard. In the audience, director Hio is having a full-on meltdown. The ref immediately starts the count as Kiju lies there like a discarded ragdoll. This does not look good. But as he's lying there, getting intimately familiar with the floor, you can see the gears turning in his head. He's thinking that this fight is completely different. Yeah, no kidding, genius. He realizes that against this guy there isn't a single opening. He's got his defenses on lockdown. It's like he's fighting a final boss from a video game. A dude in full plate armor just tanking every hit. Up in the stands, Wang Yu's friends have already given up on him. They're like, even our boy Wang Yu lost. This dude Kiju is toast. And a quick glance at Wang Yu explains why they're so sure. Artist, you did him dirty. His face is a swollen mess. Wang Yu grumbles that it's over. His buddy helpfully points out that Kiju won't get up, just like he didn't. Ouch. And the crowd goes absolutely nuts. Everyone is on their feet, stunned by the sudden comeback. The coaches cannot believe their eyes. Jaws are on the floor. Choi Wang Yu and his crew are completely speechless. One of them just goes, "What?" Saman watches with wide, hopeful eyes. Her fists are clenched tight in support of our boy. She's mentally spamming, "You got this." Kiju, panting and covered in bruises, realizes it himself. It connected, for sure this time. A massive, goofy grin spreads across his face. He actually thinks to himself, "I got it? Oh, you sweet summer child." His celebration lasts for about 0.5 seconds before, bam, a red glove just deletes his face. Turns out, Diogu was completely unfazed by the uppercut. He sends Kiju flying back with a vicious counter. Kiju crashes hard onto the mat. You can practically feel the wind getting knocked out of him. His mind is a total blank. He has absolutely no idea what just happened. He landed his ultimate move, his big finisher. But now, what's he supposed to do? Saman and director Hio watch with pure dread. In the crowd, people are getting worried. They're like, that's the second down, right? Is he gonna get seriously hurt? Wang Yu and his buddies, however, are loving this. I knew this would happen, Kyung-tae laughs. Director Hio thinks this is way too much for Kiju and grabs the towel, ready to forfeit. But suddenly, a hand grabs his arm and stops him cold. Of course, it's Saman. "Dad," she says with total confidence, "don't you know Kiju, he'll get up." Down on the mat, Kiju pushes himself onto one knee, shaking violently. He staggers back to his feet. My man can barely even stand. The audience are in disbelief. One of them just mutters, he got up. Even Wang Yu's crew is shocked into silence, one of them calling him crazy. Which, yeah, that's fair. The boy in red just looks on, that little bandage on his cheek, not moving an inch. His expression is totally unreadable. The referee steps in, asking Kiju if he can even continue fighting. And with every last bit of strength he has, Kiju screams, "Yes, I can do it." His stats, self-belief at 100%, stamina at 3%. Even Diogyu looks a little startled by this dude's sheer refusal to get knocked out. Back in his corner, the opponent's coach is absolutely furious. He's yelling, "What are you doing? Finish it." Diogyu just clicks his tongue in annoyance and steps right back into the ring. He is so over this. Kiju braces for the incoming attack, grunting with the effort of just standing. RMC comes in fast, throwing a jab that Diogyu dodges. Easy peasy. Gang Do-gu slams a brutal punch straight into Kiju's stomach. That hit rewired his internal organs. Kiju just coughs up spit. The force of that blow is absolutely crippling. He collapses to his knees, retching in pure agony. That had to hurt. All he can think is, it hurts. It hurts so much. Yeah, no kidding, buddy. His sweat has already tapped out. Then a voice echoes in his mind, asking, why are you going this far? It's Saman. He remembers telling her, for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm resisting. He flashes back to his old life, where he was constantly getting beaten up and pushed around by everyone. Ah yes, the premium trauma recap package. But now, the ring gives him a newfound purpose. He thinks, I don't want to go back to being nothing again, because in that ring, everyone is equal. It's the ultimate anime power-up speech. With a guttural gasp, he forces himself to stand up one more time, his whole body trembling. The old Kiju would have given up ages ago, but this new guy is different. In this ring, he's gonna hold on and never give up. That's who he is now. Saman is just as determined as Kiju is. She's his biggest fangirl at this point. Director Hyo can only stare, muttering Kiju's name in total awe. He created a monster. The crowd is absolutely losing their minds. He got up again. Ugh, now I want to stop him. Once again, the gang couldn't believe their eyes. Do-gu stares down at Kiju, a shadow crossing his face. Got up again, he asks. He admits, it was fun at first, but now it's getting annoying. Oh boy, his boss music is starting to play. Done holding back, Do-gu charges forward with explosive, terrifying speed. Despite all his resolve, Kiju is no match for this raw power. He gets absolutely rocked by a hard right hook. Kiju winds up a blow, but Do-gu manages to weave right under it. The two exchange a furious volley of punches, trading brutal body shots in the center of the ring. Seeing the absolute beatdown unfolding, director Hyo grimaces, sweating with worry. Do-gu's coach, on the other hand, watches with a calm, stoic expression. He has total confidence in his fighter. Back in the ring, Kiju dodges a shot. Great job, man. Do-gu's surprised at this. Now they're in a tight clinch again, locked down. He leans in close, his expression filled with nothing but pure disdain for our boy. He whispers, stop being so pathetic and just give up already, savage. But Kiju, battered and sweating, shots right back with pure defiance. He tells Daku that if he gives up, he'd be abandoning himself. This is the first time he's ever truly fought back. Just then, ding! The bell rings, signaling the end of the round and saving Kiju for now. Director Hyo yells for Kiju to get back to the corner and sit down immediately. Kiju stumbles over and just collapses onto the stool, completely spent and gasping for air. The director looks at his battered fighter with concern, telling him it's okay to stop. It's his first match, after all. But through gritted teeth, Kiju just says, I want to do more. He realizes this is different from being bullied. His opponent is seriously trying to knock him down. And for some strange psycho reason, our boy finds that simple fact exhilarating. For the first time in his life, he feels the pleasure of being taken seriously by someone. This dude is unhinged. Meanwhile, the other coach's face just darkens. Are you joking right now? He asks. In the other corner, Do-gu's coach is giving him the same death stare. But Do-gu isn't even looking. He's completely zoned in, thinking about his opponent. He's replaying what Kiju said, that giving up meant abandoning himself and that this was the first time he'd ever truly fought for his life. That memory triggers another. His own coach, his own father, asking that chilling question, are you joking right now? And we're thrown into a flashback. A tiny, terrified boy faces his father in the ring as it appears his dad is about to hit him. Oh no, is it too late to call the CPS? Whack! His father sends him flying with a brutal slap. Our poor boy can only groan on the canvas. Dude, he's a kid! Tears stream down his face as his psycho dad grabs him and twists his arms. He cries out, Dad, it hurts. No kidding, man. But his father just screams that the real world is way more painful. Sobbing, the young boy promises he'll practice non-stop. And just like that, the anger vanishes. He kneels and hugs his son. He says this is all for his own good. Don't become a loser like me. Do-gu remembers that was the last time his father ever hugged him. After that, just cold, hard, non-stop training. What a great dad. All he ever wanted was his dad's approval. But as he touched gloves with his opponent, he knew that was a high-level quest. In the ring, he gets absolutely demolished. He takes a merciless beating from the other kid. He's getting cooked, sautéed, and heavily seasoned. The other kid towers over him. Do-gu knew his dad's ambitions were massive, and he felt way too small to ever live up to them. Poor boy. But his opponent, Jinyuk, offers him a hand. He smiles and says, wow, you got really strong. You almost made me nervous. Suddenly, his father's voice roars across the gym. Get up. Everyone in the room just freezes. Even Jinyuk looks terrified. Do-gu's tears well up in his eyes all over again. His father completely explodes. A man crying? You only cry after a real defeat. Do you even know what that pain feels like? Those words just hang in the air. Shaking from exhaustion, young Do-gu somehow forces himself back to his feet. Jin-yuk looks shocked. The father just gives a grim nod. Continue, Jin-yuk. Jin-yuk gets ready, but he's clearly hesitant. He's thinking to himself, there's no way Deogyu can take any more of this. Deogyu stands there, fists up, sobbing but ready to fight. Seeing this, Jin-yuk shakes his head at the coach, refusing to go on. The dad's eyes flare. Oh no. I'm sorry, Jin-yuk shouts. The match continues. The second it's over, Deogyu collapses. His stamina clocked out the moment the bell rang. His father is just so disappointed. Lying on the mat, Deogyu watches his father turn and walk away. But he learns something that day. Sometime later, a kid walks into the gym. His father greets him with a huge welcoming smile. And in that moment, Deogyu learned a shocking truth. Turns out, his dad was physically capable of smiling, just not at him. Fast forward, Deogyu faces Jin-yuk again. Jin-yuk is thinking, he's different, he's not the old Deogyu. The flashback continues. The opponent lands a solid punch right to his headgear, but this time, Deogyu is unfazed. In a blur, he pivots on his foot, slipping the next attack with blinding speed. And suddenly, he's behind his opponent. The other boy is just left wondering, what? When did he get there? Before Jin-yuk can even turn, bam! Deogyu buries a vicious body shot deep into his ribs. He follows it up instantly. It connects with explosive, jaw-shattering force. Thud. The opponent is out cold. He's laid out flat on the mat like a starfish. Night-night. He can barely groan as he fades out. Deogyu just stands over him, panting heavily. Mission complete. The young fighter glances over. He sees his father, the coach, watching him from the ropes with another boxer. His dad glares and asks why he's getting distracted. The look of pure terror on Deogyu's face says it all. He just can't win. His dad's next words would leave a mark on the poor boy. That kid has no talent at all. Crushed, Deogyu hangs his head. But on the mat below him, his opponent, Jin-yuk, starts to stir. Jin-yuk pushes himself up, saying, "You're strong, although I won't give up either." But something changes in Deogyu's face. His eyes flash with red-hot fury. He lunges forward, ready to end this for good. Psycho mode activated. Suddenly, snap! We're back to the present championship match. We have Deogyu aiming for a massive punch as the referee screams, "Down!" Director Hyo grits his teeth. The other coach just watches intently. Salmon and the others are floored. The referee starts the count as the entire stadium goes ballistic. 3, 4. Even Wang Yu's crew, who were just talking trash, have been stunned into silence. Look at those faces. Salmon turns to her dad, completely in shock. "Dad, did you just see that?" Director Hyo just stares, his mind running a mile a minute. "I saw it." And boom, we get the instant replay in his head. Deogyu throws a jab, but Kiju pivots perfectly, dodging the hit by a hair's breadth. Deogyu realizes his fatal mistake way too late. His eyes scream, "Oh no." Kiju unleashes an absolute monster of a hook, pouring every last drop of his stamina into this one blow. Crack. The impact is colossal, the sound echoing through the arena as Kiju's glove smashes into Deogyu's jaw. My man is launched clear off his feet, his entire body going airborne. He crashes down onto the mat from the impact. Ouch. His bones briefly reconsider their alignment. Salmon still can't believe it. A pivot followed by a hook. Did he even practice that move? Director Hyo says, "No. That kid is in a trance right now, just letting his body move on instinct." But even he's struggling to believe it. Still, even if it's instinct, how could he pull that off in his state? Back in the ring, the count continues. 6, 7, 8. Deogyu is actually getting up. He slowly gets to his feet, steam literally rising from his body as he glares across the ring. Kiju just stares back, looking completely drained but somehow still standing. Director Hyo couldn't believe it. This is impossible. Even Wang Yu's swollen face shows pure disbelief. The referee gets in Deogyu's face. "Can you do it? Are you okay to continue?" Deogyu doesn't say a word, his eyes just burning with this cold, intense focus. From the sidelines, his coach, who is also his father, watches on. He looks up, absolutely disgusted with his son. What? Kind of disgrace. Dad of the Year award goes to this guy. Back in the ring, something in Deogyu just snaps. A twisted, creepy smile spreads across his face. The referee is completely taken aback, utterly confused by this sudden personality shift. And then Deogyu just starts laughing, a wild, unhinged cackle that confuses everyone in the building. Kiju can only watch, bewildered. "Huh?" Soman asks. "Why is he acting like that?" The crowd starts murmuring. Wangyu and his friends can only ask, "Is he crazy?" Only Dako's father seems to understand what's happening, his face a mask of silent rage. The laughter finally dies down. Kiju and Deogyu stand facing each other, the air thick with tension. Kiju is sweating hard as Deogyu finally speaks. "Hey, who's gonna recognize you for getting this far? Will they even praise you?" Kiju, battered and bruised with one eye swollen shut, remains silent for a moment. Then a slight smile appears on his face. "I do. I recognize myself." Despite looking kinda goofy, his confidence shines through. "I'll praise myself." The two opponents just stand there under the bright lights, sharing a strange moment. Deogyu's expression actually falters for a second. That answer clearly hit a nerve. Suddenly he says this is no fun at all, and just turns and walks away, leaving a stunned referee behind. He starts to undo his glove, and the entire arena watches in absolute disbelief. He just tosses his gloves to the side, forfeiting the entire match. What? Kiju stands alone, watching as his opponent simply quits on him. Talk about an anticlimax. The crowd buzzes with confusion. What? He took off his gloves? Is the red corner actually forfeiting? Diogu's father can only stand there completely stunned. Is that even allowed? As he walks past, his father confronts him. You right now? What do you think you're doing? The quitter just looks back over his shoulder. I'm also trying to rebel for once. His father's face contorts with absolute rage. What? Get back here right now. But Daegu doesn't even look back. He just keeps walking. Now that is a Chad move. On that day, for the first time in his life, Diogu stepped out of the ring his father made for him. The referee, seeing there's no other choice, raises Kiju's hand in victory. Blue corner Lee Kiju wins. The stadium erupts into a deafening roar. As the dust settles, Director Hyo clasps his hands, his face an epitome of pride and joy. Selman leans over the ropes, watching the center of the ring with wide, worried eyes. The crowd roars with applause, but in the ring, Kiju's body gives out. He collapses backward onto the mat, completely spent from the grueling fight. His mind is fuzzy. He thinks, even though it feels a bit unsatisfying, did I actually win? Salman's voice cuts through the haze, asking if he's conscious. Hang in there, buddy. As he drifts off, Kiju's last thought is of the fight, how he burned himself out completely. Salman turns to her dad, worried, but he's clueless. Who knows? Is he dreaming? Later, after the amateur sports boxing tournament has officially ended, the trio gathers for a photo. Director Hyo is over the moon, happily stroking the winner's certificate. The photographer tells them to scoot closer. Salman grabs Kiju's arm, and he instantly flushes bright red from the sudden contact. That blush loaded faster than his fight reflexes. Ignoring his reaction completely, Salman throws up a peace sign as the camera flashes, capturing the moment. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Choi Won-yu takes his frustration out on a poor, defenseless recycling bin. His face is battered from his own loss, and he says, "There's no way I'll accept this." He whirls on his lackey, Kyung-tae, who looks absolutely terrified for his life. Won-yu's anger shifts to a nasty grin as he thinks about Kiju. That jerk, where did he transfer from again? While Won-yu is busy plotting his revenge, Director Hyo is living his absolute best life. He's meticulously polishing Kiju's first-place certificate like it's the Holy Grail. He holds it up, admiring it like a priceless treasure. He even murmurs, "Wow, nice complexion, so pretty. My friend, you were talking to a piece of paper." Just then, Diogu's father walks in, looking completely exhausted. "Man, you look worn out," he says. "Take it easy." Director Hyo is beaming, boasting that his gym finally has a champion. But the other coach just deadpans. "Are you happy? I'm so annoyed right now I can't stand it." Director Hyo is completely baffled by this. He scolds Diogu's dad. "That's why you should have kept the kid in check. I knew a day like this would come." Trying to smooth things over, Director Hyo offers him an energy drink. This catches the other coach totally off guard. "A stingy guy like you? Your heart's gotten really generous." He snatches it and chugs it down, leaning back smugly. He calls this his winner's composures. "Okay, buddy. Sure." He slams the bottle down, his whole vibe shifting. "Let me ask this generous brother something." Director Hyo puffs up, totally expecting praise for his amazing coaching. But he just sighs, changing the subject. Forget it. What should I do about Diogu? Well, that's not what Director Hyo expected to hear. Hyo gives him some simple advice. You gotta trust him and let him be. But Diogu's dad scoffs, firing back. "You can talk pretty about luck. You know how I raised that kid." And that's when Director Hyo's expression darkens. He calls him by his name, Shil-sung. "You didn't teach your son, you tried to clone yourself." Oof, that one had to hurt. He drives the point home. "I'm saying you never once thought of Diogu as your next generation." Shil-sung is just speechless. Director Hyo continues roasting the other coach as he lays down the final truth bomb. "You know it, clones always break down before the original." Completely defeated, Shil-sung gets up to leave, muttering that he's not going to hear anything good if he sticks around. But as he grabs the door, Director Hyo delivers one last verbal punch. "That kid Diogu, when he was young, he had your eyes. When he grew up, he had your fists. But you know what? Now that kid's chest only has your shadow left." Man, what a brutal takedown. That is some top-tier psychological damage. He leaves, and the artist gives us this incredible shot of his long, empty shadow stretching across the floor, ending right on Diogu's old headgear. Poetic. The door slams shut, and the gym falls silent. A heavy moment hangs in the air for about 3 seconds. Then Director Hyo immediately breaks into the cringiest celebration we have ever seen. "Haha, even I think I killed it. How did I come up with such cool words?" He just sits there basking in what he calls the dignity of a master with a champion student. This guy is a total dork. But his peaceful moment is shattered. A young man with some serious arm tattoos and a gym bag walks in, bowing deeply. Director Hyo looks confused. The newcomer grins. I heard this is the gym that produced the sports boxing champion. Director Hyo's eyes immediately light up. The cash register sound effect is practically playing in his head. Is this the victory ripple effect he's been waiting for? He puffs out his chest, putting on his best wise master's voice. Speaking for myself, that's right, you found the place. Director Hyo shows him the victory photo. Oh, so this is the guy who beat Diogyu. Impressive. The director just winks, soaking it all in. That's right, that kid's the champion. The stranger stares at the picture. Looks familiar though. Who is it? Director Hyo even admits Kiju does look like a total weakling. Before the director can say another word, the guy's friendly vibe vanishes as he shouts, just one question. He shoves the photo right in Director Hyo's face, pointing directly at Kiju. Where can I go to meet him? The flustered director stammers out the name of the school. The guy immediately lets go, shouts thanks for the info, and bolts out the door. Director Hyo is left completely dumbfounded as the door slams shut again. Meanwhile, back in an alley, Wong-Yu is fuming. He asks his buddies, is that even right? His friends are arguing about it. One guy insists Kiju was a nobody before transferring, but another points out he still beat Diogyu. The first guy just chalks it up to pure luck. Anyway, Kyungtae is so sure of the fact that Kiju was a total loser before he transferred. The report is in, folks. A sinister smile spreads across Wong-Yu's face. That's what I'm saying. No wonder something smelled off. He then crushes his cigarette pack, classic villain behavior. Back at Songseol High, the final bell rings for the weekend. The teacher dismisses the class, telling them all not to cause trouble. The students are all relieved the week is over, already making plans for karaoke and PC cafes, the usual post-school grind. As Kiju quietly packs his bag, he looks up and sees some very unwelcome faces in the doorway. It's Wong-Yu's old crew. And what do you know, the bullies exchange a knowing nod with each other. This is definitely not a friendly visit. The whole gang is waiting outside. Ryder, you gotta switch up the delinquent starter pack. Wong-Yu looks up towards the school gate with a nasty smirk. He's been waiting for this moment. Let the games begin. It's a peaceful afternoon at Songseol High where the school motto ironically preaches the value of together. But just as everyone is heading home, a new challenger appears. He stands at the gate, immediately drawing everyone's attention, including our girl Somin. He looks like he means business. And it's clear he's looking for someone specific. He's like, so you're saying this is where that Kiju guy goes? Oh boy, Kiju's officially famous, and probably not in a good way. Back at school, our boy's thinking whether he should go to the gym or not. His brain says discipline, his body says later. Suddenly, bam, a hand clamps down on his shoulder. It's Kyungtae, but his tone is totally different. Kyungtae is all smiles, calling Kiju the new sports boxing champ. The power of a single victory, my friends. Kiju, ever the humble potato, just scratches his head. Haha, come on, I just got lucky, that's all. But his new fanboys are having none of it. Hey, luck counts as skill too. You looked awesome out there, seriously. Kiju's little ego is loving this, even if he's embarrassed. Oh, you guys watched my match too? Of course, we saw it all. Kyungtae yells, waving his arms around like a madman. He's totally gushing, saying Kiju kept popping back up like a toy Kiju. Ryder, that was just awful. I love it. Then his whole vibe changes. He gets right in Kiju's face and asks, so actually, can you check my stance real quick? Kiju is just completely baffled. Stance? The bowl cut guy immediately gets into a fighting pose. Turns out, watching our boy get his face punched in inspired him to take up boxing. Kiju can't believe his ears. Because of me? You got into boxing? Their friend confirms it's true. Don't even ask. All he talks about now is boxing since he saw you fight. The Kiju effect is real, folks. And a switch just flips in Kiju's brain. He grabs Kyungtae's hands, totally fired up. So you get what makes boxing so special now. The wannabe boxer looks baffled by Kiju's sudden psycho-level intensity. But Kiju is beaming, fully embracing his new role. Totally. It's an awesome sport. If I can help out with anything, just ask. He's practically sparkling like a main character, much to the confusion of his new fan club. And of course, watching this whole bizarre interaction from down the hall is our girl Somin. She just sees them laughing and walking off together like they're old pals. She can't figure it out at all. Why are they all acting like this now? Welcome to the club, Somin. So school lets out, and Kiju's life seems to be on a perfect new track. He's got friends now. But you know that can't last, right? Because just around the corner, trouble is brewing. Yep, Wong-Yu and his entire welcoming committee are waiting, and they do not look friendly. Oh yeah, they are 100% here for a fight. One dude even brought a bat. The second Kiju walks by, he freezes. His good mood instantly evaporates. Wong-Yu's crew moves in fast, completely surrounding him. This is not good. Wong-Yu slowly walks forward, like a predator stalking his prey. Total villain walk. Kiju can't help but gulp, sweat already pouring down his face. Our boy is terrified. Wong-Yu just smirks, a cigarette dangling from his lips like some movie villain. Oh, Kiju just stares back, confused and completely paralyzed with fear. Wang Yu leans in close, his voice dripping with poison. Before you came here, weren't you, a complete loser? Oof, right for the emotional jugular. The words hit Kiju like a physical blow. His face goes pale as all those horrible memories come flooding right back. Wang Yu's lackeys just start howling with laughter. Look at his face. It's hilarious. Sometimes there are memories you just want to bury, but they cling to you like mud, and they drag you right back down into the living heck of your past. Back in reality, Kiju stammers trying to deny it, but Wang Yu just cuts him off with a vicious slap. Kiju crumples to the pavement, completely stunned. One of the thugs looms over him, thinking he's something. This country's really gone downhill. He grabs Kiju by the tie, yelling, "Hey loser, you thought we didn't know." But Kiju's done running. He thinks to himself, "I can't quit now, but someone's coming up." Kiju turns his head to the newcomer's direction. His expression is cold and focused. Suddenly, a sharp voice cuts through the tension. "What the heck do you think you're doing? It's our girl Salmon." The bully just smirks, totally dismissing her. What's with this now? He doesn't even see the backpack coming before it smacks him square in the face. "Serves you right, buddy." The bully stumbles back, absolutely furious. "Darn it." His face said embarrassment, but make it visible. But before he can even react, Salmon is already on him. She lands a brutal right hook, sending the dude flying. Our girl does not mess around. The rest of the gang just stares in disbelief. Even Wang Yu just clicks his tongue, annoyed his fun was interrupted. Kiju, still on the ground, can only whisper her name. She whirls on him, yelling, "Get up. Why are you just sitting there?" Her words finally snap him out of it. He looks up, a new fire in his eyes. As Kiju gets to his feet, his bullies sneer. This is actually great. Let's settle both of you today." Salmon keeps screaming at Kiju, trying to break him out of his fear-induced paralysis for good. And it works. Kiju slowly gets to his feet and tells the bullies to move it. Wang Yu just sneers, mocking the boxing boy for trying to act tough. Classic villain. Kiju takes a step forward, but Wang Yu immediately blocks his path. He stares him down. "What if I don't move?" The tension here is electric, folks. That's all it takes for Wang Yu's cronies to snap. "You little loser, you dare mess with Wang Yu." Kyungtae screams, throwing a wild punch. But Kiju isn't the same person anymore. His eyes narrow and he effortlessly sways out of the way. In one fluid motion, he pivots and lands a crushing right hook right on Kyungtae's jaw. Boom. Kiju's gaze is already locked on his next opponent. Another goon leaps in with a flying kick, but Kiju is already in motion, sliding right under the attack. The bully's eyes go wide with shock as Kiju explodes upward with a vicious uppercut. The impact sends him flying, knocked out cold before he even hits the ground. With 2 down, Kiju glares at the remaining stunned bullies, his face cold and menacing. "Move." Just as Kiju is about to go full main character mode, a new voice cuts in. Someone seriously just paused the boss fight to ask a question. Everyone, and I mean everyone, whips their head around. Wang Yu's crew looks annoyed, but our boy Kiju, he's just confused. And look who it is. This guy is built like a truck, covered in ink, and asks, "You guys know Lee Kiju?" The entire standoff just stops. This new dude completely ignores the local gangsters and strolls right past Kiju like he's invisible. The disrespect is real. Wang Yu and his remaining goons just watch, totally confused. One of them even mutters, "Man, all the freaks are showing up tonight." "You said it, buddy." The guy gets right in his face and asks who he is. But before he can even squeak out an answer, bam, a single punch sends him flying. With another one down for the count, the stranger cracks his knuckles and smiles. He says the neighborhood is intense. "Bro, you are the intensity." The rest of the bullies are completely shell-shocked. It's dawning on them that they're not the final bosses in this area anymore. He turns back, that smile now looking a lot less friendly. When someone asks a question, he says it's polite to answer. This is a very aggressive lesson in manners. The bat wielder finally snaps and yells at him. But before he can swing for the fences, Wang Yu calmly stops him. A rare moment of intelligence, perhaps. Wang Yu steps up to the plate himself, asking who he's looking for. The stranger's answer is crystal clear. Lee Kiju. Wang Yu's eyes shift. The view lands directly on our protagonist. The target has been acquired. Salmon asks Kiju if he's okay, and the answer is a big, fat no. Our boy is frozen solid and sweating buckets, so much for being cool. Yep, his trauma is back with a vengeance. We're getting a whole metaphor here, folks. His memories are literally a swamp trying to pull him under. Artist, you're not subtle, are you? And just when he thought he was getting over it, his PTSD finds a new face. In his terrified mind, this new dude is a monster ready to stomp him right back into the mud. Director Hio is back at the gym. He's polishing Kiju's first place certificate like it's a holy relic, having already wiped it 17 times today. Bro can't decide if it belongs on the wall, in a frame, or straight to Instagram. Finally, he finds the perfect spot, a place of true honor. My dude is so proud. And this gets him thinking. It's all about branding these days. He flashes back to a chat with Daeogu's dad Cheol-sung about his gym's quote-unquote premium strategy. Cheol-sung's secret is that his gym doesn't just accept anyone off the street. Oh no, they are highly selective. He says it sounds ridiculous, but if you only take on the most promising students, the word starts to spread. The hype becomes, you can't just walk into Cheol-sung gym, but if you get in, you're basically guaranteed to go pro. Back in the present, a fly starts buzzing around Director Hyo's office, and whack, he absolutely obliterates it. The gears are turning. He thinks, yeah, we've got a champion now. It's time to level up our strategy. Right on cue, the door chimes and in walks Summon. The director turns to greet her with a massive smile, but his entire face freezes solid in shock. Because right is Kiju and the tattooed psycho who was literally just hunting him down. Hyo recognizes the new guy from earlier and asks if he actually came here to sign up. The stranger just smirks. Yes, I'd like to try an entrance test if you have one. An entrance test? Kiju sweats as Director Hyo looks at this dude like he just grew a second head. With an arm draped over a miserable Kiju, the stranger says he figured a gym with a champ must be exclusive. Director Hyo starts to laugh it off, but then you can practically see the light bulb appear over his head. He remembers that premium branding talk. He looks over at Kiju's shiny new certificate. The stranger twists the knife, saying he hopes this isn't some random gym that just wants his money. And that does it. Director Hyo's pride has been wounded. Of course you need a test. That's our unspoken rule. Solomon is just watching from the sidelines, arms crossed with a look that just screams, since when? Director Hyo gets right in the guy's face. So you want to learn boxing at our prestigious gym? The stranger doesn't even flinch. Yes, and about that test, please allow me one sparring match. And you know what? Director Hyo actually considers it. Meanwhile, Solomon has had enough of this circus. She heads to the locker room and slams the door shut. The stranger just smirks again. Interesting. Kiju glares at him, finally putting a name to the face. He thinks, just what are you planning, Song Jin-woo? Kiju's certificate lies on a shelf as Director Hyo turns to him with the fakest smile imaginable. It's just to check his skills. Keep it light, nice and easy. Oh, but our boy Kiju has zero intention of taking it easy. He is ready for a real fight. That's a wrap on this recap. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep pumping out awesome content. Catch you in the next one.